Stop, kid. Oh, Jesus. All right. So anyway, what's up? Miguel, the host of Life Circle Radio. Kia got me clowning already before we even open up the mic. What's good? So y'all getting this whole weekend beer because I was moving around Greensboro with the girls. They hooping. I got to tell Kia about that story because she kind of played a little bit of basketball. She probably wasn't any good though, but it's all good. So we did a little of that. There's a lot of stuff going on in relationships, Kia want to talk about. A lot of people breaking up, a lot of people getting married, getting divorced, and it looks like Jada Pinkett Smith is still trolling Will Smith. And so he's going to make an album with Jordan Lucas because he ain't got nothing else to do because I don't think he had the house. I think he had another part of the country or something. Anyway, Trump wilding out. He talking about all the military. I don't understand how people who claim that they love America, they love the red, white, and blue, and their favorite hero is crapping on veterans left and right. There was Tommy Tuberville, who's the senator out of Alabama, had a nerve to say he was the most military person in a hearing that included one of the senators out of Texas, Kelly, who has served. And Kelly basically said, 4 or 5 of us in the room actually served. You ain't served. And he basically said, well, my daddy died in combat, so that makes me more military than you. I was like, these people are out of their daggone mind. Man.
So because your dad died, that makes you it makes you military adjacent. That's saying, you know what, I'm black because I had black children, like Erica Mena said. That's why I'm black. Like, no, you're not black adjacent by penis injection. That's not how this works. It's beyond ridiculous. Before we get into the show today, I got to make a big announcement. First of all, it's my baby's birthday. Happy birthday to Trey. Yes, it's Trey's birthday.
It's Trey's birthday, right? So,
big girl birthday.
So this here is a magazine called The Edition, LaMelo Ball, basketball player. It's a really dope magazine. It's got a lot of really cool fashion and things like that.
Is he the good ball? Is he the one who just had the baby?
Oh, I don't know about the babies. I know he's the best ball player out of them because Lonzo hasn't played in 2 years. He's had a knee injury, won't let him get back on the floor, and the other one is playing in China somewhere, I think. But
so yes, he's the one who.
We ain't talking about that right now. We ain't talking about that right now. Yeah, can you see it? Let me see.
If you stop moving it, it can focus.
I'm trying to get the focus.
Right there.
There we go.
Stay right there. Perfect. This beautiful lady on the screen, that is Tracy Lloyd.
Shout out to the queen. She was focused. She got a little shot in this magazine. And NBAF, she said this is her final year chairing NBAF. I believe it when I see it. But they've got a big event coming up this weekend. But I'm just proud of her and all the work she's done because this is cool. It's what she loves, but she's also serving the community, which that's what we do in the Lloyd family. We serve and try to make it look cool. So shout out to the queen, and she said, okay, it's the milestone one. It'll be another milestone next year. This year, she's saying it'll be a big milestone, so we chilling. But
so wait, 45 and 50 is a milestone, right?
Yeah, the half, the fives and the zeros, and then of course the 50 is the biggie. So. She's 44 this year. He got me telling. Women don't want to know people know their age.
Tracy don't care because Tracy don't look a day over 35, so it don't even matter. But y'all have to tell us what's happening for 50 so that me and the poor people can save up. Me and my husband, if y'all be going somewhere,
I'm so sick of you.
I have to save.
I swear for goodness, I'm so sick of you, man. Just stop it. I'm sitting here with a raggedy bee and a t-shirt talking about some poor people, and y'all sitting over there with colors on your wall and walls that's fighting back with you, giving you knots on your head. Anyway.
Had a minor incident before we went on air trying to find a plug. Anyway, where we starting at?
All right, let's jump into this thing today. So, this is you got a lot to say today about these relationships and everything that is going on. Where you want to start?
Let's start. No, Eboni K Williams takes. Well, let's just go to Jada. Let's just go to Jada and how no matter how all of us want her to stop embarrassing Will Smith, it's just what she does at this point. It's what she loves. It makes her happy. It gives her joy, passion. She has been posting relentlessly about Tupac, which we all know. Everybody knows that she and Tupac had a relationship. It's not a secret. So she posted a video of her.
But they were
him
kids.
And Tupac.
Let's stop. They were in high school. And people make it out to be like, they were in high school. Well, go ahead.
This man died 30 years ago, and she is still talking about it like he died yesterday. And I understand that Tupac is an icon. Nobody is saying that he is not.
Tupac is an icon. Yes, he is.
but let that man rest in peace and go on about your marriage. But it's fine. And then, recently they actually, and this wasn't on our list, it should be. That's because intern Alexis doesn't really know this, but the actual, what do you call it? Not his murderer, the organizer of his shooting.
Keith D, I think is his name. He said he was in the car, and he wrote a book and it released a couple of years ago, and so yeah, so they arrested him Friday.
And he provided the weapon.
It took them 25 years to figure that out.
I don't know what to tell you.
Longer than that. Actually, he got killed in 1996. It's 2023. Do the math, carried 27 years. It took y'all 27 years to get to this point, right? So
we can't go off topic though. We need to focus.
Go ahead and finish, because I don't care about Jada's pick. She's something else. All right, let me just say this. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
She also said that she never wanted to be married to Will Smith in a recent clip that came up when she was in that whole entanglement with August Alsina. And I don't know if she didn't think these clips were going to come out or what's going on, but she just needs to stop or push back a little bit and say, when I said this, I was in a rough point. We were in a bad point in our marriage or something. She just kind of letting it ride and like, I have a new book out. Like it's weird.
I just, whatever the next announcement that Will and Jada are going to make, just make it or don't. It's their business. They're doing what they want to do. I just hate these people living these lives like this out in public when they're having these internal issues at the house. I see this in this. It says she began, Will and I am so glad you were born on this day. Without you, I would not have experienced the greatest joy of my life, the love of our family, and continue to express gratitude that they chose each other as life partners, right? And so
Stevie J mess. Life partners. Nothing. That's some Love and Hip Hop Stevie J mess. We're life partners. We're a life partnership. It's stupid. But here's the thing. Listen, if they announce that they're getting divorced, I promise you everybody will be happy. All of us will be. It'll be a collective sigh of relief. Y'all getting divorced? Woo, thank God. We are. It's over. We don't have to hear this no more. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I just don't know. Those they kind of cut from that generational cloth that says, we gonna stick it out, I guess. But it seems like maybe they got an open marriage and it worked for them. Maybe they need to take some time. Michelle Obama said she didn't like Barack for 10 years and they still making it work, or they're not. We don't know because we're not in their business. You know what I mean? And I just wish people we could live in our own business. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, so all right, let's move on. And you already mentioned the Keith D and him getting arrested and all that situation. So the Tupac story.
Wait, we're not in the relationship segment yet.
All right, what's the next relationship segment piece of mess that you got going on over here?
The very beautiful Jodie Turner-Smith has filed for divorce from her husband of 4 years, Joshua Jackson. If you don't know who Joshua Jackson is, he's the white boy. I was about to say white boy from Dawson's Creek, but they were all white.
What's her name?
What would black people know him? Jodie Turner-Smith, and you would know Jodie Turner-Smith from the movie. What was it? Slim and we're so bad.
Slim and Husky.
Slim and Husky.
No, it's a movie with that Lena Waithe produced. What was the name of that movie?
Hold on. I'm pulling it up.
All right. So
Queen and Slim.
Jodie Turner-Smith files for divorce from Joshua Jackson after 4 years of marriage, and this is them. Queen and Slim, actress 37, and from Fatal Attraction, actor 45, in Supreme Court after their 3 years. 3 years of marriage, they just got tired. The sex just got tired. That's all that was.
But it's weird because he really looked like he was in love with her. Like he was happy with her. And a lot of people were like, wow, white boy, you're with the British black woman. I mean, talk about rare of the rare. And
is that rare? It's not that rare anymore. But go ahead.
A British black woman?
There's plenty of British. You don't watch Top Boy, bruv? Bruv? You don't watch Top Boy, bruv? Come on now.
Don't. I
bruv?
Please stop.
Bruv?
It's BRUV, bruv, not brev.
Bruv.
But let's stay focused on the situation.
Go ahead.
A lot of people are saying that she only married him so that she could climb some Hollywood ranks. That's what a lot of people are saying, that she is a user and that she wanted to make it. And honestly, if there's anybody that's like, oh my God, no, she's an amazing actress. She got this on her own. But I'm looking at it kind of like, oh, would she have got it on her own? I mean,
they've been married 3 years. You ain't have a chance. You ain't had a chance to do nothing in 3 years. It's like
she's done a lot.
You
in
done
2
filed
years,
taxes
though.
twice, and they probably, that's about it. They haven't done anything. They ain't, Lord knows, no kids have done. They've been on a long date for 3 years. That's pretty much what they've done.
But
And
she's
so,
in the past, since she's been with him, which by the way, since she's been with him is the only time she's actually made movies. Does that mean anything?
I don't know if it means anything. Did she get any more movies? I don't know. She wasn't terrible in Queen and Slim and Queen, or Queen and Slim, or whatever it was. That movie was decent.
She was also in Anne Boleyn in 2021. She played Anne Boleyn, which, by the way, I boycotted that because you're black and you shouldn't be playing Anne Boleyn. Did you get a never? No, not. We'll talk about it after. She was in Without Remorse without Michael B. Jordan. Omar loved that, but you know how I feel about Michael B. Jordan. You just know how I feel about
Without Remorse. What was that? That was. I think he was. I think I like that too. Omar, remind me, brother. I know you in the comments. Remind me. I think that was like. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that.
And then she was in Murder Mystery 2 with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. And that's really been it. But all this stuff, and it's right for you to do that. All this stuff has been since she's gotten married, 2019 to now.
Well, come on now. She's not a bad looking woman. She was.
Oh no, not by any means.
No, she's not bad looking. She was Queen and Slim. She was pretty good. And here's the thing. If she did, there's plenty of all types of white women, Asian women, whatever, marrying white boys to get a come up. So it is what it is. It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. I'm fine with it. I just think it has more effect because everybody's getting divorced, and it's just like, well, what the hell, y'all? Why is everybody getting divorced?
Who else getting divorced? Let's move off of them because half of people don't even know who you're talking about. And let's move on. Who else getting divorced that we care about?
That we care about. Now, see, that's where the rub is, that we actually care about. He's Without Remorse update.
I remember that, Omar. I do remember that. Revenge of the death of his wife and unborn child. Yeah, because he was like a CIA agent. They're always in CIA. Boy, if I ever meet anybody from CIA, I'd be like, ooh, you're a bad dude. They're always in the CIA, right? They're always in the CIA. The movie, the show we watched with on Paramount recently, Lioness, CIA.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Anything.
I'm not getting Paramount, so.
Oh God, girl.
And we love Jack Ryan. We love Jack Ryan. We are a Jack Ryan household here, and that's on Amazon, and that's got the CIA.
So that $7 is making all the difference in the world. You can find something else. You just take some lunch to work one day.
Yo, bro, let me tell you something. And my mom is watching right now. She's gonna tell you. We're so broke right now. I'm doing my own pedicures and my own eyebrows and doing the pedicures for my entire household. I am doing anything to cut corners. Like, that's how broke we are. I have to get my driveway fixed thanks to the HOA. Like, that's,
come on, man. Come on. Omar wants Paramount. I'm with him. You need to get Paramount so Omar can have Paramount.
Well, you show me some Paramount money, and then we can go get Paramount. It's like McDonald's. You got McDonald's.
You got Paramount money. You got Paramount money. I'm moving on. I'm saying out y'all marriage. So,
all right. The next story we want to talk about is Eboni K Williams, and that is her recent comments about how black women should be seeking wedding rings while they are seeking degrees. She's gotten a ton of backlash about this, but some people, like me, agree with her because that was the old school premise. The only reason why parents, especially fathers, would send their daughters to college back in the day was so that they could find a husband. My dad, who's old school, he might be the last old school man on the planet, he was hoping I would go to college and find a husband. And when I didn't, he kind of looked at me like, oh, great, you got a degree. Congratulations. And you're still single. Like, he was happy that I got a degree, but he was hoping I would come home with a husband. And that's not what happened. I got one, but it just took a little bit longer. Years later. It took a little bit longer.
Hey, man, my daughter, Saran is now 20. She's around 23 years old now. And like the way these kids are, or back in my day, the way these kids are interacting with each other, man, I have no idea. As long as whoever she decides to be with treats her right, at this point, I'm just like, I don't know what they do to date or court or, all right, let me slide in your DMs and let me send you this. I don't know. So getting back to this. So the part of it is saying you should have went to college, got your degree, found yourself a man while he was in college. Are they doing that anymore? I don't know, but of course, I just really believe that 80% of the internet are just black women who are mad about
Yeah, you'd be
something
about
and
right about
everything.
that.
I'm
I would
just,
be. And Ebony K Williams is the worst messenger ever of relationship advice. You
yeah.
got dumped by a white guy during COVID. You ain't got no man. You ain't had no man before the white boy before that. Like, I appreciate you feeling like
But then,
it may be too late, but
what was the controversy she had a couple of months back? And she said something on her griot show that everybody was mad about. It was
I
something
wouldn't
she
date a
said.
bus driver. Maybe
She wouldn't date a bus driver.
if he owned the bus.
So
And
she,
Ayana was like, "Well, girl, that's the problem."
so she went from who she wouldn't date to now she's saying y'all should have found. So I guess she felt like y'all should have found y'all husbands in college, and after that, the whole game changes. I don't know. All right, let's move on
But
to
it
something else
does
because I'm
change.
clearly
Like,
not
let's just
qualified to. Go ahead, I'm listening now because I'm not
the
qualified
game
to
does
manage this part of the
change.
conversation.
Yeah, the game does change after you get out of college. Because when you think about college, you went to college. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is
Mm-hmm.
is focused in one location from every walk of the United States. They all end up on a college campus, and you're
Mm-hmm.
all there roughly maybe 2 to 4 years together, depending on where everybody is, and you're
Mm-hmm.
all interacting. You're
Mm-hmm.
interacting in classes, black
Mm-hmm.
black events and parties and clubs. You
Mm-hmm.
see the same people over and over again to interact with. Once
Mm-hmm.
you leave college, it is now you're a fish in a giant ocean trying to
Very
find
true.
a man.
You
And
know,
that's
it's
why
interesting.
I agree with her.
I saw this guy, scrolling them internet streets, and he made a great point. He said he was talking about the difference between day ones and day twos. He said day ones. He said your day ones are the ones that you were brought with out of basically necessity. That wasn't the word he was using, but basically he's saying you grew up with your day ones. They were your next door neighbor. You didn't choose to live next to that person. You lived next to that person. Their parents moved them in next to them, and that was your day ones. Those are your friends. He said your day twos are people that you choose to be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's a job, if it's a club, if it's a fraternity, sorority, if it's different organizations, they're people who you have in common with. And your day twos are the ones that you live the bulk of your life with. And I get it. Your husband, your wife, those are your day twos. Those are the ones you chose to be with those folks, right? So, when we get into these relationships that we're dealing with, and whether it be friends, family, wives, husbands, but it's so many choices and so many distractions, and if you don't know how to manage your time on the internet, if you don't know how to control your hormones running crazy and you responding to what you see, because on the internet everybody fine on the internet, when it comes to the internet models and all of this stuff, they're gonna take their best pictures, have their best videos. Now some of them like Sexy Red, her best is still like ugh, but I shouldn't have said that. Yes, I should have. That's what I feel like.
You're right. No, Miguel is right. The Sexy Reds of the world, the Glorilla tries. She's a cute girl. She be trying. It's fine. This is a lot of them. Scarlett. Some of them are cute. Some of them are pretty. Some of them are like, not so much. But
that's a separate culture, and I want to have that conversation with some young people sometime. We got to pull some young folks on the show. Like maybe I can convince Saran to come on the show one time and just help us to understand the whole culture of Glorilla and Scarlett and
Lotto.
Now Lotto is not that bad. She's
But I don't know her music. I couldn't pick her music out of a lineup if they said who.
Well, they all
sings
sound
this.
the same. All the music sounds the same right now, but but Lotto isn't. She's obviously but I don't know. Maybe just me because I think Lotto's better looking than the rest of them.
Getting off topic of the relationship situation, ladies, just listen. What I want to tell all the girls, what I want to tell all the girls out there is stop with the high value man crap. Stop with the whole he has to pay for my Uber to get me to the date. He has to pay. We have to go to a 5-star restaurant. We have to do this and that. That's just for him to talk to me, and then he's got to pay this bill. Just stop. Just start looking for a man to treat you well.
Mm-hmm.
Like treat you well, respect you, value you, and then take it from there. If he doesn't take you to Omar took me to the Cheesecake Factory on our first date, and it was awesome. It's fine.
There's a big gulf between you got to go 5-star everything to you. There are people who are in that middle tier. Those are where most of us are, right? Where what I mean, you'll go out to a special dinner once a month or whatever, and you're paying your bills
once a quarter.
what I mean. That's what most of us are. All this stuff y'all see on these internet streets is a bunch of garbage. It's not reality. And if y'all are creating it as your reality, y'all got a long road of misery coming your way if you think this is the way it's going to be forevermore. Because, if somebody's got a roommate and they driving their mama used car, but they got some fly clothes on, and you think that's what you met what we call the representative. And then all of a sudden, once you meet them for real, you're like, okay, oh, you still live with your mama? So when we going to go get this house? Oh, that means that all them dinners and all those $500 sneakers and all that nonsense that attracted you that wasn't real, it's going to go away because now, they don't have the expendable income that they once had when they was out there wilding out. So, I tell people, and I tell some young brothers when I meet, I say, man, when I was dating, I would much rather meet a woman in a Walmart than in a club. Flat out. Because my thing is, if I meet you in Walmart in sweats with your hair pulled back, that's pretty much the worst you're going to look. You can dress yourself up. But if I meet you in the club and you got all the makeup on and you got the waist trainer on and you trying to be the best you could be, and all of a sudden, and that's it.
Where'd you meet Tracy? I forgot. Where'd you meet Tracy? Was it MySpace?
It was.
That's not right. It was MySpace. I remember the story. It was MySpace.
It was MySpace. But in the internet streets, I see. You trying to make me? I gotta clean this up. You make me contradict myself. I'm not contradicting myself.
If you're old enough to remember how whack MySpace was back in the day, where there was no filter, where the picture you took was just the picture. That was your face.
The picture was definitely picture. But but the good thing, the way that you can benefit from the internet is that, at least at that time, I don't know how honest people are now, but then I got to see pictures of her with her family, pictures of her serving in the military, and then she the famous red sweater picture. The famous red sweater picture was the magnet. You don't know. People in the family know exactly what picture I'm talking about. The famous red sweater picture. I was like, oh, that's the one. And then
Is she wearing the red sweater, or are you?
She's wearing the red sweater.
Is that the one with the V-neck? Or the one with the cut-out shoulders?
My famous picture, I had this fly yellow blazer on, and I was sitting there like, yeah.
So and that was you were just like the mask from the club scene?
Whatever. I was fly is what I was. Moving on.
Moving on. All right, let's move out our relationship section and let's move on to politics.
Yeah, let's move on to politics because let's start off with this sister. Did you put that back on our list, Sister Jasmine?
Yes.
out of Texas. She brought all the smoke to Republicans who was talking about. Where is it? I don't see it.
Well, anyway, he finds the clip. Let me tell you, she is like the political version of Diamond from Crime Mob. She basically told them, we knucking and bucking and ready to fight because y'all ain't got nothing to say. All I hear is words. Y'all just talking mess. And it didn't sound like that, but that's basically what she said. Like, listen, we have been sitting here for hours watching you guys bring up witness after witness after witness, and hasn't one witness said anything of value for this impeachment. And then the witness was like, I took a tally on how many times they said if. And she's like, oh, you took a tally? Well, what does the tally say? They said the word if 54 times.
Right.
And if is basically, if he does this, if this would have happened, and if I was in the situation. It's like, well, we're not. That means we're not in this situation, sir.
Right. So to get everybody caught up in Representative Crockett out of Texas, she trying to do this.
Do you have the clip?
I'm trying to find it. You can keep talking. So anyway, Representative Jasmine Crockett brought the smoke because with this investigation into an impeachment investigation is a bunch of smoke and mirrors, a bunch of garbage. We know it's a bunch of garbage. She basically said, they kept saying, well, if Joe Biden did this, if he did that, if he did this, she basically said, that's a bunch of all these ifs. If all these ifs you keep on talking about, if he ain't do it, then why are we here? He said the worst thing that Joe Biden has done is shown that he loves his son. That's pretty much it. I hope my parents love me in that way. But then she started showing pictures of the boxes of Donald Trump, and she basically says, here's some boxes of our secrets in the shitter. And this is on the floor of Congress. And I'm here for it. All of this, one thing that I hear a lot of people talk about is that Republicans kind of go, they've lost all sense of decorum for the most part. And not all of them.
Child.
Just the ones that are out front, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Bobarts, they've lost all sense of decorum. And
who's the
and
one who looks like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead? Who's from Florida? Matt Gaetz,
who my understanding is that they're thinking about trying to expel him from Congress. Go ahead.
And that MFer has a lot of nerve.
Mm-hmm.
You just got caught. That might have been at the beginning of the year. Got caught texting underage girls while you were campaigning for this position. Now you think you are good enough to oust McCarthy as Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Are you on crack?
No,
are you and Hunter Biden smoking together?
He's a privileged white boy. Matt Gaetz believes I can't do no wrong. I can say whatever I want. My constituents are going to keep me in office. I dare you to try to challenge me.
And they're not. I live in Florida. They can't wait for this stuff. They're over him. That whole him being racist, fine. Him hanging out Marjorie Taylor Greene, fine. Him texting underage girls, nope. That's where they drew the line in Florida.
That's what it took. Well, thank God there was a line. What's happening now is that this infighting, because they're talking about shutting down the government, and it wasn't about the Democrats. Sit back and said, we done made our deal. This deal was already presented to the Senate. The Senate already did their thing. You send it over there to Congress, and that's the Republicans back and forth between McCarthy and Gaetz. We're gonna sit back with our popcorn and watch these clowns clown. And so when you see that type of nonsense, you sit back and you say, maybe we're finally hitting that edge point where, because it's all about the people. It's all about the people finally saying we've had enough. Donald Trump is out here talking about executing retired generals that's getting ready to retire to serve 40 years in the military. Who was his former, I believe, chief of staff or armed services guy, talking about he deserves to be executed. This is the type of stuff that let some rapper say something like that, and tell me that they won't plant bombs all the way around his house like the Roadrunner. This guy is what is it going to take? Is this enough? Like, it's almost now to the point we say, okay, like we said this a couple weeks on the show. White folks, it's okay. There's other white men that you guys can coalesce behind and say he's our guy. It doesn't have to be Trump.
Well, people who support General Milley are not General Milley. People who support Donald Trump are morons. And the reason why I say that, I didn't used to say MAGA people were morons. I used to say that they're misguided, they're not Republicans, whatever. But now it's gone to the point of you being in a cult and being a moron, because he has actually convinced these people that actual patriotic people who served in our armed forces are not doing it the right way because they don't do it how Trump does it. So now they're not patriotic and they are just rhinos or this and that and fake and blah, blah, blah. They don't believe in America. It's like, are you shitting me right now? General Milley has served this country for years.
He still has 40% of Republicans that say that they will vote for him. And you got people like Tuberville out here talking about that the recruitment issues are in the military because of Lloyd, the brother who's the general who's a West Pointer, but who's Biden's chief military guy. Anyway,
are they saying that's why the recruitment is so low? Is because of that person?
Well, because of that,
and because been low for years.
Well, because in part because of Trump and his idiocy, because of the fact that we have not been. There's a lot of reasons potentially, but it ain't because of this particular president and this particular administration and what they've done over the course of the last few years. They're talking about because the military are writing and reading poems, and because they got people trans in the military. That's why people aren't joining the military. You haven't been following that?
That's not why. Yeah. No, I have, and that's not why people join the military. I think, and this is just me and my Republican brain, I miss the days when a part of the requirement to be a president was that you had to serve in the armed forces. Remember those days? Where every single president had served in the armed forces.
Well, that's a great point.
I think that stopped with recent Bush. Recent Bush was the only one, or was he in the Air Force?
No, before that. No. Yeah, well, the first Bush served in the Navy. They began.
He was.
So Reagan didn't serve. Carter didn't serve. I don't believe. So Carter, Reagan, Bush 1 did serve in the Navy, and then since then, none of them have had military service. So
Clinton didn't serve.
Huh? Right. None of them
wow.
in the last 40 plus years have had prior military service.
And I feel like that is why part of the reason why recruitment is low. Recruitment is also low because, when think about before this time period, we were in a years-long war. Nobody wanted to sign up for that. Nobody wanted to sign up. Even people who are gone to the military academies weren't super keen about going to war. They just knew this kind of like, that's the deal that we have to deal with.
Well, there's and that's something that I would love to have a conversation and bring Trey up and let her people talk about that. But the truth is that less than 5% of people have experienced either directly or indirectly with service, meaning either they served or their spouse served. So which means you have less people who have that personal experience of what it means to serve in the military, and so they don't respect it. Now, and it's a different war now. It's not a war where everybody's on the front line and is bang, bang, shooting across. You got drones and things of that nature. But it's just a different military now. But the point being is that, Tommy Tuberville, who's this idiotic former football coach, now turned senator out of Arkansas, Alabama, had the nerve to sit up there with the senator out of Texas, Kelly, and try to say he's the most military person in this room. And it's just ridiculous. When you had people, at minimum, respect the people who served. I wouldn't dream of, and I think this is the clip right here. Let me see. I believe this is the clip right here. Let's see if I can play this.
Because you've been searching for a clip forever.
Yeah.
Bigger than me, but
Kelly from Arizona.
I think it's important to point out and comment on what Senator Tuberville just said. I think the quote was, "There's nobody more military than me."
Nobody more military up here than me, but
as far as I could tell, there's at least 4 of us, maybe more, that served in the United States military, in some cases for decades, and at least 3 combat veterans. So I take great exception.
That takes an incredible amount of nerve to sit in a room with military veterans and you have not served. And your response, which I didn't play, but his response basically was, well, my dad died in combat, so that makes me more military than someone who served for 30 years.
You know what? My whole family served in the military but me. So I've been in the military, since that's how that works. My mom, my brother, and my dad. My brother was in the Navy and both parents were in the Army, and I'm not, but I'm related to them. So that makes me, I've been in the military.
Your adjacency is that you can go get an account at USAA. Other than that, you ain't served nothing. And when I look at that type of stuff, I said, I would never have Trey or any of her veteran friends or any other veterans that I come across, any of the other veterans that I've grown with friends of mine that I went to high school with who served many tours, 6 tours, Iraq, Afghanistan, frontline. Anytime that brother says something about the military, anytime one of them sisters say something about the military, you know what I'm doing?
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what people with good sense do.
Shut up. Stop it. Okay.
Oh, you gotta practice on your soundboard. You gotta practice your soundboard work. Because right now
I'm jacking it. But point being, sometimes it's time to shut up, sit back, and respect the service and respect people who've done something you've never done, right? But that's just, what I love about seeing this, lack of a better term, white on white crime, white man on white man crime, which is going on now, because we just talked about Matt Gaetz and McCarthy. We just talking about Kelly and Tuberville. This is where the fight is going to come to a head, because when it comes down to a conversation between white men and women, white men and gays, white men and black, white men and Hispanic, white men and people on the border, all that stuff gets brushed under the rug by both the left and the right. But now when you got these white guys versus white guys, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that needs to stop. Well, we've been talking about that we didn't have to deal with this nonsense. Trump is 2015, but it was going on before that. And now it comes to a head, and now you got these clowns who want to disrespect the military. You got Trump talking about a general that served 44 years in the military deserves to be executed. What kind of brainless nonsense is this?
He's a nut. And listen, you know what? And you're talking about how it's white on white crime, and how the Republican Party is just infighting. So let's go into so we can start with the Republican debate, and how that was the world's largest S show to ever S show in the history of S shows. I watched them clips from the Republican debate.
So you got to catch me up on how I know it was bad because what I did. So they all had their blue suits and red ties on and their flags. I saw that.
Yeah,
and even what's her name from South Carolina?
Nikki Haley.
She had a red dress on. She had a full red regalia on. But go ahead.
She had on. It was so funny because she had on her Christmas suit. You know when you have the Christmas service, if Christmas is on Sunday and y'all go to church and you wear your good stuff, that's what it looked like. Like she was going to church right after. Anyway, all they did was yell at each other. The moderators who are sitting there, and they got a very unique group of moderators. One person British, one white, one Hispanic woman. You know the whole thing.
Why was a British person why was there a British person there?
I don't know. Maybe they found him. He was over across the pond. I don't know where they got him from, but he was there. Whatever. Oh, and all they did was yell at each other.
Yeah.
That's all they did. And Ron DeSantis actually won they're saying he won the debate because he was the only one who had sense because he was the only one trying to get them to stop. Well, congratulations on being a kindergarten teacher trying to stop other people from yelling. That doesn't make you a good candidate for president. Oh, it was just so bad. Vivek and Tim Scott going at each other. It's just crabs in the barrel for the Republican Party. It's not good. It doesn't work. It makes me annoyed and nauseous. It was just so awful.
And Trump wasn't even on the stage. So you guys are over there fighting. Trump don't feel like he ain't got to go on the stage. Why did he go on the stage with these clowns? They all chasing me.
He said he never will be. He said he's never going on a debate stage.
Yeah, he got to debate them. They're chasing him. The bulk of the Republican Party they don't care about a debate. Trump is their guy. He's the big tough white guy.
But isn't that where the issue probably lies most? Is that they're all chasing behind him, but they can't decide if they're gonna be against him or for him. Right. And I think that's where a lot of people are messing up. Like, well, I supported him back then because of blah blah blah, but now I don't. He was wrong.
Was Christie on the stage?
I didn't see a big white blob, so I have no idea.
The only ones that legitimately will challenge him: Chris Christie, Asa Hutchinson. The Republicans don't want to.
Nikki Haley will. Nikki Haley said she will.
Nikki Haley will. Yes. And to that end, the challenge Nikki Haley is going to have is if she becomes the front runner of the has-beens, the second runs. Is she going to take? is she going to take the invitation from Donald Trump to be the running mate after saying everything?
She better not. If she does, that means everything she said was bullshit. That means everything she said about him, what he stands for. I'm sorry, Mom, but it was. That's what annoys me about Nikki Haley. I talked about this multiple times on the show, how much political capital she threw up in the air and was like, I don't need this anymore. And now she needs it back. And then you're going to go be his vice president? Remember, Nikki Haley, regardless of how white you think you are, you're still brown. You are still a brown woman. And these redneck patriot boys, these Proud Boys, all these ones who support Trump are not going to support a woman who's also a woman of color. Does she really wear her women of color thing on her sleeve? Not at all. And that's where she messes up a lot of times too.
So I don't think that's going to be an issue for her as big as people may think, because a lot of these people are idiots. She changed her name for a reason. There are two minority
and let me tell you about that. The name change thing is a weird thing. She's saying her middle name is Nikki. No, her middle name is not Nikki. My mother-in-law can explain this better. Her call name is Nikki, meaning like instead of using her real name, there's like a easier name for Americans they use. Yeah. Well, no, because my mother-in-law's legal name is Bangwanti. Mm-hmm. But the name she uses for Americans to make it easier for them is Nadia. These two names, that is not a nickname. It's just a name she has to make it easier. That y'all
don't know how to do all them syllables. And I had a friend of mine. I'll never forget it. What's up, AJ? Ajoke, who's a good friend of ours, and I remember she's Nigerian. And I always, when I meet Nigerians or anybody of African descent, I always ask them, tell me what their name is. Say, okay, what's your real name? And she ran it down. Yep. I said, okay, AJ it is. Because I was lost after about the third name. But I say that jokingly, but I have so much respect for this is the heritage. But once again, America is about assimilation. And
it is, but I feel
and Nikki Haley has assimilated.
She's more. She married the white guy, had the brown, the mixed girls who mostly look white, and I've never seen her represent her culture. It's okay if you want to be, Nikki Haley, fine. I've never seen her celebrate a Diwali. I've never seen her in a sari, in a lenga, in a shalwar. I've never seen her in any traditional Indian clothing. I've never even seen her parents out with her. The only reason why I've seen them is because there was a picture of them on her Wikipedia page for some reason. And she's not half white, half Indian. She's 100% off the boat, Indian.
Mm-hmm. It's called assimilation. There's two groups that cannot assimilate in that way, and that's Asians and blacks. And that's why they like to call them Asian model minorities, because for the most part, Asians will come over here and make a lot of money, but they don't really get involved in politics that much, right?
No.
They get involved in business, they live their lives, and they move on. Black folks, because of a lot of things, including slavery, by the way, have been fighting for equality for the last 400 years, and definitely for the last 160 years, right? So, but everybody else, if you're Hispanic and your name is Rodriguez, you want to change the name to Rogers, or if you're German and you come over here and you got a German name, you want to shorten it to an Americanized name. Once you assimilate to being white, then all of a sudden you in there. You're in there like Flynn, and all of a sudden you're part of the major group and no longer the minority group. White is a made up construct. It's a combination of people from all over the world who come to America, and all of a sudden they're just white. No, you're Irish, or you're Italian, or you're German, or you're British, or you're from Wales, or you're from South Africa.
Okay, we're dragging down this what segment. This is not as funny as it was supposed to be. Can we move on to something funny?
What's funny?
All right, Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner. All right, let's do that Brittany Renner a bit. Because Brittany, you got to set up. People don't know who Brittany Renner is unless they live in the internet streets on Instagram. But who's it? Set it up.
She had a baby with PJ Washington, the basketball player. That's
crickets. He's not even.
You know who PJ Washington is.
He's not even a good basketball player. Yes, I know who he is. I'm a sports guy, so I know who he is. But I know Brittany Renner. I've seen she was a soccer player. She's biracial. She's she was a soccer player. The story is that she was.
No, don't say it like that. She was not she was not on the U.S. women's team soccer player. She played in college for a little bit. It does not count.
God. No, she wasn't a U.S. women's soccer player, but she was an athlete. And then
I hate when people do that. She was a soccer player in high school, and the freshman year of college does not count. Anyway, she is now an internet personality. She's the one who came up with the whole slogan of stepdaddy season because she has a child and she's always looking for a man. She's a podcast personality. She actually went to Jackson State to speak with Deion Sanders. She did that whole thing about men and boys being smart in college, which was cute.
Oh, that was her. And now okay. That
was her.
Okay.
Now she's back off the rails again. She went on the podcast with Shannon Sharp, of all people, and said that her body count was 35 people, which I didn't know was a lot. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but is that a lot? I don't know if it's a lot or not. It seems like it's not a lot.
So the question, that's something we supposed to do this story at the top of the show. Is 35 a big? Is that a big body count? I'm curious. It's 35 now. Mama Blanche is in the audience, so.
How old is? But wait, we have to do some whole math. Like if we do whole math, we can figure this out. So how old is she? She was born in '92. How old does that make her?
That makes her 31.
Okay, so let's say she started having sex at 18, right? Mm-hmm. So 2 a year from 18 to 31. What is that? Hold on.
That's 12 years. That's 24.
So.
This is the fan you grad over here. I'm the one from the other state college. So you're supposed to carry the one all the stuff over.
Don't do that. So I'm sorry. So let's say it's 3 guys a year since she turned 18. Maybe it was 16. Who knows? Is that a lot? 3 guys in 1 year. There's 12 months in a year. 1 guy every 3 to 4 months. Is that a lot?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So they're making it seem like it was like a guy every week.
Well, here's the thing. But here's the thing. If you were to use that logic, that would mean from the time she was 18 until today, which includes 9 months of pregnancy, carrying a baby, which includes at some point, let's just say you should have been in a relationship for a while, like at least one or two
That's
relationships
fair.
during that time period. So in between relationships, she was out there buck wilding, and then I don't know. That's why I say I don't know, because 35 seems like a pretty healthy number. Sounds like it for a 31-year-old girl.
Healthy being 35. Bad or healthy being reasonable? Which side of healthy? You don't know. Now here's
we need to chop this thing up, and we're gonna put this in the internet streets because I want to know. I want to know what the answers are, because here's the
we're
thing.
Gonna clap here.
Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows, right? Because everybody lies, man. Everybody lies about how many people they've been with, and unless your number is really small and you really kept a good track, people who live for a while, they all lying. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because I'm like, what's a big number and what's a little number?
I don't know.
Here's where Brittany Renner becomes a hoe again, and I can't stand by her. She had sex with 3 guys in 24 hours.
Now
in
that,
24 hours.
That's a bad decision.
Was like,
that was a bad.
And she thinks
bad
she got a
decision.
yeast infection.
That was a bad.
I think she got
24
gonorrhea.
hours. That was a very irresponsible 24 hours of her life. Absolutely.
How does that 24 hours even work? Like, I know it's so weird. It's so weird to me how she's admitting this, and this is where people get caught up with Brittany Renner.
So,
Let me stop joking around so much.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
You're trying to take me deep in this rabbit hole, and I'm not going.
You don't have to go. Just stay off to the side and listen. So, listen, Brittany. We be wanting to be on your side and say, no, she's not a hoe, and no, she had a pass, and but when you say stuff like this out loud, then we got to be like, girl, what? Doesn't even make any sense.
Well,
like, why would your brain even process that?
Did we talk about it on the show, the video where the girl was talking about the girls' trip is hoeing, we hoeing on the girls' trip? That must have been something else I found on the internet. I had to find that video because it was a video where the girl was basically talking about, it was a podcast. You know, it's so funny. One of the comments was saying they got to stop selling podcast equipment to everybody because some people need to shut up. So the girl basically was saying that you come on a trip with me, we go on a girls' trip, it's hoeing. We all hoeing. If you ain't hoeing, then you need to go on and stay home. It was like, you put this in a video and release this to the world? Like, what in the hell?
Even funnier, remember the video of the girl? She was on a girls' trip, and she was the only one married, and she stopped the girls' trip to make her husband some fish or season it or something weird like that. I guess it was like an in-home thing. And she is shaking so much salt on that fish. And you remember that video?
No.
She was seasoning up salmon, and she had seasoning salt and garlic powder. And then it turned into just more garlic powder than fish because she was just shaking and shaking and shaking.
All right, we might as well go and let this go because this segment has gone off the rails.
Wait, let me see if there's one more what that's really funny, because there was a couple on here that were just like, I don't want to talk about LL Cool J getting called boy at the thing, because
with Joe Biden calling LL, yeah, that is a bit of a what, but he's old. It is what it is. He still do his job fine. He's just old,
Okay, well, this isn't really a what, but I guess it kind of is. The judge puts an end to the Blindside family's conservatorship over Michael Oher, and now that family says that they had never intended on adopting that man in the first place. And now it's kind of like, so the movie really was a lie.
But you got them checks when you sold the rights to that movie, didn't you? Was you intended on getting that bread? And
now the judge is like, and you have to provide him all the financial statements that have been made from different things, speaking engagements, everything. The judge is like, he has every right to see it. So we'll see how this rolls out.
And that's your what segment of the week.
That's your what. Sorry, guys. That was a lot.
All right. So what else? I want to make sure we don't miss anything really important. So let me look at this because we got a couple of minutes left. And my big baby just walked in, so I'm going to spend time with her. Kim Kardashian and sister Courtney Barker get in vicious fight.
No, we don't have to talk about that. Let's talk about the whole.
Can we talk about meatball?
Meatball. That's what I was going toward. Meatball.
Can we talk about meatball?
Meatball.
Okay, so go ahead and set this up while I'm pulling this up. It look like you trying to do something. Let it go. Let it stop. Get off.
Oh, we both can't click it at the same time.
I'm trying to click it so I can pull it up on the show. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to read it. Okay, so Philadelphia influencer Meatball, who posted bail Thursday morning after being arrested for looting while live streaming, has asked for followers for cash. The looter, whose legal name is Deja Blackwell, posted on her Instagram story and went live after being released. According to the New York Post, she told her 1,906 followers that all I want to do is go treat myself, and plugged her Cash App handle for her followers. Blackwell also posted on her Instagram asking users to go bless her and said frequently that she wanted to go get her toes done. The influencer's bail was set at $25,000 according to court documents. Let me go to what happened.
So this is what I saw. When I saw it, I saw the video. So what happened was there was a situation with I don't know if you said this. There was a cop that got off on something. He killed somebody, and he wasn't indicted. So when I caught wind of it, Meatball, who is this girl,
Yes.
she's on live and she's live streaming, and all I hear is,
so let me go to that part of the story.
Everybody
On
gets
Tuesday,
go ahead.
Yeah, on Tuesday, the 21-year-old social media personality told her 181 Instagram followers to join her as she ran through the streets and drove to several locations hit by thieves. Tell the police if they lock me up tonight, it's going to be lit. It's going to be a movie. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody's got to eat, she said on camera. She filmed looters at an Apple Store, Lululemon, and Foot Locker before moving to a liquor store where she bragged about grabbing a bottle of Hennessy. Eventually, police found Meatball in her friend's car and arrested her a little after midnight. And there's multiple pictures and video that she took of everybody looting, and then she was arrested. She still filmed herself while she was being arrested, which is why I'm confused about why she cried in her mugshot. What did you think was gonna happen? Like it's dumb. That video was dumb.
It's guys. I saw this stuff, and what I saw was that these people running out of the Apple Store, stealing these phones, which ain't gonna be worth a daggum because, of course, Apple is not going to let them phones work or be worth a damn. They run through the Lululemon store grabbing clothes, and she's screaming, "Everybody gonna eat tonight!" They run to the grocery store, and then she talks about, I don't know what's going on with this video that I got on the screen. So when it's all said and done, this girl got these people, and the power of these influencers is something to behold, because if she was
ridiculous.
the one, it can get these people out in the streets doing this nonsense. And then they said, oh, if they don't arrest me, next clip she getting arrested, and then she gets this mugshot.
And here's a bigger thing to the looting. You guys, they're moving stores out of these cities. Like Target don't play the radio nowadays. They're like, oh, so we want to keep getting robbed. We're going to keep having to deal with people like Meatball and the looters. We're just going to close down every single Target in Philadelphia, and we'll move them to another location. And they have no businesses have outside of the city. Businesses have no problem doing that.
Because you got a lot of people, the Bed Bath and Beyonds of the world are closing down everywhere, so they can find space like that they can knock down the walls, put new branding on it, go into those spaces, and protect those areas. And back in the day, we used to see movies like Mad Max and all this stuff where people were wilding out in the cities, and we thought that would never happen. And
it's happening now.
And then you got situations where, these border states like Texas and Florida and these places are sending people into they're just shipping them on buses and taking them up and dropping them off in places like Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and doing it on a day-to-day basis.
Which is dumb, by the way.
No, it's not dumb, actually. Here's why I say it's not dumb. Because when it's all said and done, what are you going to do to stop them from doing this? And until the Supreme Court, which Supreme Court's not going to do it, until the court system says it's illegal for them to do this, they're going to say, all right, we're going to take these people and we're going to drop them, even though we're going to keep enough to keep our businesses flowing. But we're going to drop them off at Vice President Harris's house on the street without any direction, without any help. It's chaos. It's continual chaos that's being developed in our country right now, and I don't know where the end is. Reasonable. It's going to take some reasonable white men on this side to talk to these unreasonable white men on this side, decide, okay, guys, this is enough. Like, you're messing up the economy. You're messing up our cities. We got all this investment going on, and you guys are acting like assholes. And now we're at a place right now where, and I don't know, man. But anyway, so Meatball and people like her, and the other guy what was the other kid, Kai Cenat, who had them running around in New York.
Well, that's different. I feel like the Kai Cenat situation, but you're right. Kai Cenat is an influencer.
It's different.
But I feel like Kai Cenat, it's different, but it's the same. I get what you're trying to say. They have a lot of influence, and they're telling these kids to do one small thing, and now they're out in the middle of the street, but we can't get these little raggedy nigglets to come out and vote, or pass a test, or come out and try out for the sporting thing, or, hey, have you thought about the military? But you'll come out in the middle of the street to go rob a Lululemon store and rob an Apple store, or you'll come out in the middle of the street to come try to get a free, PlayStation 3. It is very, very ridiculous, and I feel bad for the generation. I've told multiple people this. I posted online. Any child born between 2005, 2005 and 2015, that 10-year span, all these kids suck. All of them suck. They have no redeeming qualities. They're not good people. They're useless. They can go off and die tomorrow.
Time. My kids are wonderful. Hold on, carry the one. Yeah, I got 2011.
Yes, your kids are wonderful, but your kids are not the norm. And nowadays, are your two daughters the norm?
they are more normal than you give, and they are. Come on now, because we're in the suburbs, right? My kids, my kids. If I take them in the middle of Atlanta and drop them off, they will run around and be like, "Where are my parents? Come and get me! What is this nonsense?" Yeah, they live. Here's the funny thing: we went to the basketball tournament this weekend, and there's a whole array when you go to these type of tournaments. You got kids that are from the inner cities, and you got kids that are from the suburbs. You got kids that are from the country, and you look at them and you said, they're all united through basketball. But you can tell kids who've grown up playing basketball every day in rougher environments on the playground in comparison to kids who are, playing in the gyms. Now most of them are playing in the gyms now, but my point is that it's a little bit easier now the way these communities are being built to isolate your children, to isolate your family away, and still be in these relative suburbs and communities. We can go to Atlanta, go to every show, go to every event, but I have no desire to live in the city of Atlanta. In the city of Atlanta, I just don't. Now I know other people like Miguel. How you say that? Why would you say that?
No,
I just don't have any desire to the parking situation, the crime situation. And it's not that the government and the people are not trying. It's because it's the oversaturation and underemployment, and the lack of opportunities. Because most of them, when they get their jobs and careers and go to college, they move outside the city themselves. They're not trying to live inside the city.
I went, and Miguel knows this. I went to downtown Atlanta to stay at the W Resort. I thought, ooh, downtown Atlanta is going to be so chic and so cool and da-da-da. It was not. It was very bummy. The W Hotel is like the only nice thing in the area. And it was.
You
It's
should have
just
talked to
not.
us. We'd have got you in the right places. But anyway.
I know. I don't be listening, and it's just
You don't be
my
listening.
fault.
That's it. Thank you.
I don't be
Thank
listening.
you
I don't
for
be
finally
listening.
admitting that you don't listen. And on that note, we can end our show. All right, so we'll holler
Bye,
at y'all
guys.
next
I don't
week.
listen.
Peace and a bye-bye. And let me make sure I hit the right close. And
So